Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. These introductions never stop being a little bit awkward, but I'll get used to it eventually. We're 80 videos in, and I predict that by video 150, it'll stop being weird. But anyways, today I'm going to talk about the transits and the astrology forecast for January 7th. I can't believe we're already 1 week into the new year. So crazy. And there are some interesting things going on today, in particular with the moon. So the moon's going to be making a lot of different transits and aspects today. And I'm going to kind of focus on that, I think. So firstly, I'm going to talk about the moon in Aries. And it's going to be making a trine to Mercury and Sagittarius. Secondly, I'm going to be talking about the square that the moon's going to be making to Mars in Cancer. And then third, I'm going to talk about the moon entering Taurus a little bit later in the day and how you can take advantage of that energy after it's kind of awkward square to Pluto in the middle of the day. Okay, so primarily starting off the day, we have a moon going through the sign of Aries. And it's going to be making a trine to Mercury and Sagittarius. But simultaneously, it's kind of squaring off with Mars and Saturn. So this is like an interesting duality that's going on right now because the moon is actually at home in Cancer, and it's in Aries right now. And Mars prefers to be in Aries, where it's at home, but it's in the moon sign, Cancer. So these two planets are kind of like talking to each other, but they're both kind of like awkward, not in their regular environments, and just kind of feeling out of place. So it's kind of like a sticky energy that's going on. Thankfully, because there is the trine coming in, from the moon in Aries to Mercury in Sagittarius. Actually, you know what? Mercury also does not like to be in Sagittarius, but because there's like a little bit of a combination of this fiery energy, at least you have a little bit more power and drive and confidence to express your opinion, although it might come off a little bit blunt. So I would be a little bit careful of that. Sometimes with Mars in Cancer, it's a little bit more difficult to take action, or to like have confrontation. So, you kind of want to be careful of these extremes of just like staying too much in a comfort zone because Mars is in Cancer and you don't want to offend anybody, but you need to kind of express something and say something. So one of the extremes might be like you're not really saying anything and you're kind of like moving like a crab, like you're moving sideways, you're not like moving directly at the problem that's going on. And then, like, the other awkward thing that you want to look out for is just, like, being too blunt and too forward with the moon in Aries and just, like, not really caring about the feelings of people around you and kind of offending people, or just also being angry and, like, having that create other problems in your life. So I would say, like, if you need to have a difficult conversation, you do have a little bit of support coming in with this fire energy, but just, like, be cautious and be aware and just slow down. I think slow down, just like, be a little bit more emotionally in tune if you have to have conversations, but don't be afraid to have difficult conversations. So yes, in the afternoon, the second aspect that's kind of going on is the moon is going to be entering Taurus, and this is going to bring in a little bit more of like a calming, chill, grounded energy. The moon is actually exalted in Taurus. It loves being in Taurus. Taurus is a Venusian sign. It rules over our senses. And what this means is that emotionally, we are feeling a lot more stable, secure, all of those things. But firstly, it's going to be squaring off with Pluto. So around the early afternoon, you might be feeling a little bit more like drained or like emotionally stunted or just kind of like frustrated at work. Because there is a square to Pluto, there could be a little bit of like power dynamics going on in your workplace, or it's just a little bit more like emotionally volatile, I suppose. but this moon in Taurus energy will improve as the day goes on and as we enter the evening. As we enter the evening time, there's going to be a harmonious aspect between the exalted moon in Taurus and the exalted, like Venus is in Pisces, which is Venus's exaltation. So there's like a nice aspect going on between those two planets. So we're kind of going from like this extremely uncomfortable energy of like all these planets making aspects to the moon in awkward ways earlier in the day, as I had explained, and then in the evening, just know it's going to improve and you're going to get like a boost of a lot more positive energy because we're dealing with planets in a happier, harmonious aspect, harmonious environments. Again, like the Taurus moon does love to be in, the moon does love to be in Taurus and Venus loves to be in Pisces. So yeah. It would be a good evening to connect with somebody that you care about, enjoy a lovely meal, anything to get into your senses, listen to some music, light a candle, take a bath. But yeah, just know that if you're having a weird day earlier on, it's just the weather. It will pass. So yeah, I think that's all that I really have to say about January 7th. I hope your week is off to a good start. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments below. If you got any value out of this video, I hope you'll consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel. I'm going to be posting videos every single day going forward, so you can learn a lot and watch me learn and grow as well if you would like. I would love to have you here. Also, I'm going to be doing astrology consultations going forward, just like very simplified readings, 30 minutes for 30 Canadian dollars. I would love to get into your chart and talk to you about any questions you have. Even if you just need to like talk it out, I feel like the birth chart's a really great way to get into your soul path, or just, learning more about even like your mental health and the obstacles that are coming up in your life. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much. Take care.